first game was, as I recall, it was a long time ago, you know. I think it was at Luton Town, and I think we won 1-0. And I think I played against Ron Davis. Now you're going to say, who's Ron Davis? Ron Davis went on to play for Southampton, tremendous in the air, and he used to play alongside Wyn Davis, who was here in latter years, and we used to call them the Welsh RAF, because they used to come and they were brilliant in the air. And I remember Frank McClintock and I had to play against them in a Scottish game, and we were dreading it because they were so good in the air, but we managed to keep them quiet. I think we got a draw we did a bit of cheating, like, and a bit of pulling the shots, and you know, there was ways in them days you could sort of stop people playing. But that was my first game, and we won 1-0. Well, favourite goal I ever scored, well, it's got to be, I think, the one we were talking about earlier, the one over there that sort of destroyed the Pestosa. I think the lads, their players said when we went over there, said that killed us off, because we thought we were going to beat you, but that killed them off. And of course we scored another two, Alan Fogg and Benny Antoff. So I think, was it my favourite goal? I remember working hard on my left foot again. That was I hooked that in, and I always pride myself in thinking that was a great finish. Best, I would have to go when I was a spectator watching Peter Beardsley on telly at Portsmouth. I think it was Portsmouth, when he got inside the box and he went to hit it. Keeper dived, defenders dived, and he drew it back. And I think he did 2 or 3 times. He kept going to hit it and didn't, and the keeper and defence were all over the place. And then he just side footed in the back of the net. Difficult. When people ask me this question, it's always difficult, because the first thing I would say to you, you mean what position? Because I think it's difficult to say the best player. You've got to sort of say, I think going on that, David Craig, who I met when he came from Belfast when he was 15. Craig, he went on to play for Ireland many times, and he was a great fullback. But I played alongside other guys like Frank Clark, who got a free from here in Newcastle. Then he went and won a European Cup medal, didn't he, for Notts Forest. So we had some great players, and the team I played in the Fairs Cup team, I wouldn't like to say anybody was better than the other, because we're very much a team. But I think Craigie is always my favourite, consistent fullback, great fullback. Well, I think I mentioned earlier, I think Kieran Trippier, I think he reminds me of myself, albeit on different stature, and he's probably got a lot more skill than me. But I think as a player, I think he's a class player, and I think he's a great signing. At the right time, right age, knows the game, and not only that, but he actually he's a good skipper, because he knows he's getting everybody in the pitch to do what they should be doing. He encourages them, takes the pressure, and organises. So I think it might be a problem if there's 2 of us on the pitch, because we'll be telling each other what to do. But I think he is a top class player, and I like Bruno as well. I think he's a class player. I like him because he's an all-rounder. He can see a pass, and he's tough. He doesn't like to lose the ball. A little like Peter Beardsley. Peter, if he lost the ball, he would chase back and try and get it back with some determination. So I think Kieran would probably be my choice, and hopefully he's going to have a trophy to his name in the very near future. Favourite gaming? Well, obviously the Fairs Cup final ones were great, but my sort of proudest moment would be when I captained Scotland at Hampden Park against the English. I think there was 135,000 people there, and I led the team out at Hampden Park. Well, you can imagine the emotion I had of walking out there with the pipes and the drums playing and the whole thing, and you couldn't hear yourself. You're talking to somebody you couldn't hear because the noise was deafening. And I think that was one of my proudest moments, walking out as skipper of Scotland. I think I touched on that before. I think I would say when I came back as a supporter in '92 when the Premier League started, first game here I think was against Tottenham Hotspur, and I remember coming, sitting and watching and looking around at all the black and white shirts. I just thought to myself, this is what it's like to be a supporter, because I'd never been a supporter, if you know what I mean. I'd played the game, but I came back here, and I thought that was one of my great memories. And I have to say, I got a bit emotional on that, thinking back to the good old days when I played. No, not really. I remember we had the one with the brown ale thing. That sticks out because I have been known to have the occasional bottle of brown ale. Oh, without any doubt at all, Joe Harvey. Joe Harvey, you know, and we talk about Sir Bobby, who was fantastic. You talk about Kevin, but let me just tell you, you'll not know some of these things. Joe Harvey, he came here as a player and he won the FA Cup. He was skipper of the Cup, 1951, 1952, and he was coach in 55, where we won 3 FA Cups. Then he came and then he went away to do his thing at working, came back to Newcastle. When I came in 1960, as a young lad, 15 years of age, and we used to play in the car park outside, which is, well, you wouldn't recognise it now. The wall's still there, but we used to play we used to train there as kids. And Joe came back, he came from working to Newcastle. He came and I remember when he first came out, because we didn't know who Joe Harvey was, we were just kids, and he came out with this sort of reddish type tracksuit, brand new tracksuit. He came out with new trainers on, and he came and he joined in, didn't he? Joined in the 5-a-side game with us. I tackled him. Down he went and he limped off. I never saw him. Next day he came in, I broke his ankle. So that was my new manager. But as a manager, he was brilliant, and his record speaks for itself. You know, he got us to the FA Cup final. He got promotion in '65, and he was a servant. He came scout, and he was here. He spent most of his footballing life here. And so Bobby and Kevin, all this, there's just no doubt in my mind, he is the best manager we have had in our lifetime. Couple. Very disappointed that when we won the first cup in '69, the following year we were going well, and we had to play Anderlecht, and we went over there, and there was a lot of us. I think I was injured as well, but I played, but we weren't at our best, and we got beat over there. We got beat 1-0 over there, and we brought them back here. We were beating them 2-1 here, and with 10 minutes to go, this was like the quarter final, and they scored in the last 10 minutes or something, and that knocked us out in the away goal, because I felt that year if we had beat Anderlecht, we would have went on, because Arsenal won it that year, and I think we could have beat Arsenal in the final. So that was disappointing. I remember sitting there, and I remember early on in the game I got tackled, and I thought, well, on my ankle, I thought that's a bit sore. Came in at full time, and I was really peed off that we'd got beat by the away goal, and I'm sitting there and I'm just sitting like that, and David Craig says, Monk, they used to call me Monk by the way, say, you've got a problem with your ankle there, and there was blood pumping out my ankle, just pump, 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 and I'd never felt it the whole game. It happened in the first 15 minutes, but it must have been one of these things that, you know, you get numb when you get hit, and that was then I had to go, and I had about 14 stitches in it, so I wasn't a happy man that night, I'll tell you. I think I touched on it before. I think leading my country out as captain at Hampden Park, 135,000 people walking out there with the ball as skipper was great. But obviously winning the first cup has got to be, and well, all the things that go. I was almost like Roy the Rovers, wasn't it? You know, hardly ever scored a goal and scored 3 with the wrong foot, etc., etc. And being captain of the team was just a fantastic honour, and very lucky to you, and I still appreciate it to this day. When it first all happened, I thought, how fantastic is that? And the one I remember, and I was when they did the one at the Leazes end, and they rolled the big long one, the whole length of the Leazes. I couldn't believe my eyes how that was happening. I'm going, bloody hell, that's fantastic. It was brilliant, wasn't it? Every coordinated the whole thing. I just thought, and then they got rid of it the same way. I thought, that's brilliant. And so the following week, I think I came out thinking, I'm going to go out early and see it again. And they didn't do it, did they? Or they didn't do it, but they did some at the other end. So I'm looking at the Gallagher end, it's not happening, because I sat with Kimio and going, there's no flag. And then I looked up and they did something similar here. And I think that thing, whoever thought the war flag thing is absolutely brilliant. And I think it gives, you know, my missus, she's out 20 minutes before the game to see the war flags thing. And I think whoever's done that, 10 out of 10 of them lads.